Okay, so for today, I'm going to run through the platform and the syllabus at the same time, okay? So you've opened the platform. You see that I have here the syllabus. That's what I'm going to talk about. And this is a tentative schedule. This is a tentative schedule. We have to work with the fact that there's many days, well, there's 2 days of holidays. So our course is actually running over 15 weeks in the end, because there's 2 days of holidays and there's 2 days that we're not going to meet in addition to that. So there's 4 days we do not meet. All right. But that's fine because this is a distance course. Some of you may be surprised that we're meeting at all. Um, it's something that's been changed in the program so that we can touch, base with the students and mentor in a way that you won't get in a completely distance course. And I think there's a need, or we've established that there's a need for that. So we're going to meet usually every week, but there's 4 meetings that we're not going to have. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't be studying, okay? This is a very intensive course. There is going to be Semana Santa, there's going to be a break for Easter. And then next week is also Día Feriado. But you keep studying, okay? Because if you can stick with this schedule, you're going to be just fine. All right. One moment. All right. Okay, so let's look at the syllabus. So this is a statistics course for business. They changed the name recently, but it is a basic statistics course, fundamentals you're going to learn, and it's supposed to be applied to economics. If you notice in the textbook I'm going to recommend for you, or there's one that I'm going to require you to get, um, that although this is a business statistics class and you're in a business program, the problems are quite varied. Okay, so you're going to get problems, exercises, or applications in the medical field. You're going to get applications in business and politics. Okay, so there's various applications and they do overlay or they do cross over into business. So it's a way of keeping it interesting, and I guess and it's not my choice. That's the way they make the textbooks and always made the textbooks. I'm going to try my best to give you exercises and show you how it can be applied um and maybe in the future for you. But in general, it's quite the applications pass into all sorts of disciplines, and you're going to see that. So here's my contact information. You can use this number. You can email me too. You have my email. Um, you can use that phone number when you're desperate to communicate and reach out to me. Something's happening, as in fact, you are gonna solve problems or do exercises online. So you have to reach me, text me. Also, you can use that number if you're really stuck. If you're solving problems or you're getting through the material at a slower pace than you'd like and you feel that you're missing something, contact me and I'll set you on the right track, or I'll help you get over the hurdle. All right. I want to offer that to you. This is not I mean you're not abandoned, you're not completely on your own. I am available and we can meet virtually. You can also, students, sometimes they just text me questions. I prefer that you put those sorts of questions into the forums that I have prepared on the platform so that other students can benefit. But Um, you can also just text me if you're really stuck, and I can transfer those questions to the forum for the other students to benefit at any rate, okay? Because usually students have the same questions. Um, so you guys have the information on the course that we're meeting from 9 to 11:20 in Zoom to discuss the relevant modules according to the schedule. The way I've set up the schedule, let me make this a little larger. There's a lot of information here, but if you follow in this column, I've included an estimate of the time in terms of, well, they have, contact hours. It's hard to translate into virtual course. You're going to spend more time than 1.5 hours with the material. This is more about me giving you an instruction, and not even, there's still more than that. So, anyway, we're really concerned here with the dates, right? So this date is today's date. And by the end of today, you should have completed the introduction. Now, I'm not going to be checking that. That's just an outline for you. It's a recommendation that you finish on this date. This way you spread out your effort and you're not studying everything at the last minute, okay? Then for next week, we're not meeting, but you're going to study during the week on your own, modulo dos. And you should be finished by the end of next week. We are not meeting on the 29th, but you're going to continue with your studies and you're going to finish, well, you're not going to finish on the 29th, but when we do meet on the 5th, you will be finishing either that Saturday or that weekend. You're going to finish, try and finish this module. So how are you going to do that? I'm going to show you all the resources that are available to you. And again, if you get stuck or confused, you should, yeah, email me, but texting if you're really desperate, or because sometimes I don't get to my emails right away. You can let me know. So let's see, let me show you, well, let's get through, let's continue, and I'll show you all the resources in a moment. I want to get through here. Any questions so far? Everybody's open, can see the platform.
Right.
This notation is from the English, but it kind of translates here. Well, kind of. So this is descriptive, sorry, no, this is not. This is design and sampling. So diseña and sampling, which is encuestas. And this is graphing and descriptive statistics. So this acronym is more for the English, but I'm not going to change that just because you guys get it, I think. All right, so that is the layout. There are going to be tests every week. There's going to be tests every week, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those tests. All right, so here is the first day of class, information on the last day of class, and I've listed here all the dates we will not meet, but you will have exercises. You have things to study anyways. The dates that I'm missing are the 29 and the 26 because I am traveling. But the other days, the 22 and the 19 are officially, I can't even give you a test. So every other day, I'm going to give you some test. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 5 best grades of those Saturday tests. Okay, so you're going to have many chances, many opportunities. So this is an incentive and a reward for your studying during the week. That's going to be worth 35%. So of the 5, they're 7% each, the ones that are successful, right? The best ones. The final exam is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to give you some time for that, but what you're going to do is you're going to identify between 16th and the 18th a 3-hour window. I'm going to give you some options where you can write the exam. I've become very concerned with the integrity of the course. I want to grade individual work. So I will be proctoring the exam, meaning I'm going to be observing you. You're going to be writing the exam with your camera on. So any of you who don't have a camera, you need to get a camera for this course. All right, so you have to have the camera on to attend class and to write the exams. Um, participation will be graded on every week, and it will be I'm going to use the 5 best grades for participation as well. So again, because you registered for a distance program, you didn't plan to be present, but you will be present, and I'm going to record your engagement. So during the class, I ask questions, and we work through exercises, and you come with your own questions for me, okay? And I will record your engagement. If you have the camera on and you participate, you're going to get 5 points out of 5 points. If you attend and you do not have the camera on, and you are participating, you'll get 4 out of 5, okay? So um, it's my method to, and I did get positive feedback about it, that to force engagement, you are a more mature group, but I've learned that my undergraduate students just cannot learn virtually. And so I instituted the camera to create some engagement or to force attention, because it's very distracting to be behind a monitor. We have notifications on our phone, on our computers, lots of interruptions, and I'm going to try and use the time that we have most efficiently. And by forcing the camera on, I will get that. I believe, and I've experienced that I get that engagement. If any of this becomes a problem for anybody, just email me, let me know that you want to discuss it. But it usually works out just fine. There are also going to be assignments in Connect. Do you know what Connect is? Okay, so
Oh,
McGraw-Hill is a publisher that offers textbooks at a reduced rate with a digital access to, in our case, quantitative problem solving exercises. Okay, so we're going to use Connect, and we don't have the textbook license yet. I'm working on that, on getting that. But don't worry about it. You don't need it right away. And again, you just have to complete the best 5 assignments. The assignments are very easy. They're very, very easy. It's just a way for me to give you an easy 10%, if you must know. Okay. So a lot of this is easy. You show up at least 5 times. You have your camera on, you get 20%. You do the Connect exercises, that's another 10%. And then you perform satisfactory on the exams, and you're going to be fine to pass this class. All right. And I'm really stressing engagement. I'm happy if all of you study together, but I don't want you writing the exam together. I want you, I don't mind for Connect, you might communicate with your classmates, but for the most part, you're going to write your final exam on your own and your partials as well. So the idea will be before the tests, that you consume as much of the information I have on the platform that you can, right? And there will be so it's going to be like we're going to have 10 meetings. We're going to have 10 meetings. So you only have to show up 50% of the meetings. Okay. Saturday test will be at 11 o'clock. So I'll put it in the schedule. So it's still in the schedule. We're gonna meet till 11 and then I'm gonna open the test. The test will be 1 or 2 questions maximum. 1 or 2 questions. Okay. Um, my I was very struck with my evaluations last year because some students just loved the class and some students didn't benefit, but somehow they did well. And I'm concerned that that shouldn't be happening. You should, I want you to enjoy the class. I want you to get the most out of it. And I hope this new method will work, but you can give me your feedback about it. I appreciate it. All right, so you guys can print this. This is in the syllabus. The syllabus is up here. And even before that, I've put down a link to the calculator that I am going to be using for the class. I'm going to use this calculator. I'm also going to show you how to use Excel for statistics. I am not going to use any software, statistical software. I find personally, and even with students, I find it becomes more of a black box. Like students don't remember how to use it unless they have instructions how to use it. And I want to make this much more, I want you to be able to take away much of what you learn here. I don't want you to have to go to a software, even though some professors use R Studio or R because it's free. I don't see in this course, in a basic course, you should be able to do everything in here on a basic calculator. Well, this is actually a finance calculator. This one is a finance calculator, and we will be using the calculator in stat mode for stat problems. But I like it because you can do two variable statistics. It means you can study linear relationships on this calculator. So that's why I like it. And then I'm not sure, I think the finance professors are using Excel for finance. So I'm going to teach you also in finance. You don't have to buy this calculator, but I will be showing you how to use this calculator, and I highly recommend it. It's easier than opening up your computer with Excel and doing problems. It's just much more handy. Now, you can buy this physical calculator, but you can also just get the app. The app is, I think, $16 on your phone, and it's specifically the BA2 Plus Professional Texas Instrument. That's the most useful because you always have your phone with you, right? Everyone has a smartphone. So, and it's cheaper. I think 15 or $16 is
Yeah,
half
it's
the price.
$14. I already got it.
You just got it now or you had it before?
No,
We,
no, yeah, just now. I just
okay, very good. Very
bought
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's $16. And
14,
there's a
$14.
there's a free version, but it's different. It's a little bit different. Some of the students, whatever happens when they get the free version, there's always a glitch. Something always goes wrong. And it's free. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not an expert, but it's free. You get what you pay for. So this is the yeah, so thanks. So Louise went and got it. There there's a lot of utility in this calculator, and even having it on your phone. It would be nice if they used it in finance. There might be some changes to who teaches finance. I taught finance in the MBA program with this calculator in the past. All right, so that's the calculator, very important. So it's different than a basic calculator, okay? Because it has stat mode and it has um, two variable statistics. That's very specific. So you might have a calculator that is a scientific calculator, but it only analyzes one variable statistic. All right, so what's a variable? We'll talk about that too in a bit. Okay. Um, So any questions about this stuff? You're going to understand all of this by June. You're going to understand all of this, right? Nectar.
Uh, if we get the app in the phone, we in the exam we can use it.
Yes,
Okay.
you can use it. Yes, you can. I'm not, yeah, obviously we have an honor, we're using the honor code here, but yeah, you shouldn't be texting during the exam. I'll do my best to um, monitor that, and also I'll try and randomize problems. Okay, the app for the phone, let me do that again. I gotta close this. No, no, no. Okay, the app for the phone is the same, TI-BA2 plus, TI Texas Instrument BA2 plus. Okay. On the pantalla, you'll see some instructional videos on the right. I advise you, that it's in the first module that you should look at those, have a look at those. It's going to help you with maneuvering through the platform. On the left side, you have the modules. I I don't want to have any excuses, but this is a new version of Moodle, and I had to spend some time modifying because my the platform before was a little bit different. So I don't really like the way this looks, but maybe I can figure out how to make it look better. It looks just really messy. But anyway, if you work with that, you can jump to the modules efficiently. But maybe I have to make it more efficient because my modules are kind of long. Okay, so if I scroll down, just a comment here that I have videos, instructional videos. I've put everything into YouTube. I put everything into YouTube because it's huge and it's steady and stable and it it can you can count on it. It's reliable. Um But unfortunately, I have ads on my videos, and that's does some of the students find it distracting. So I recommend that you follow or watch the videos in the Brave browser. You can either copy the links or you can use Brave browser as your, so that would be, not Safari, not Google, not Chrome, not Firefox, Brave browser instead to watch the videos, then that will suppress the ads. As far as I know, it still works. So you won't see ads and you can watch smoothly. Some students don't care about the ads. It's all up to you. Here's our meeting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is at the top here, I'm going to put the recorded videos like this one. So you'll find them always at the top of the page. If you miss the meeting and you want to review it, or even if you attend the meeting and you want to review the class, it'll be here, okay? Under that heading. Sorry? Okay. And then some stuff about me here. And that needs to be removed. Okay. So module one. So module one is introductory module. There's some instructions here. Don't spend too much time here, but do go through it. I would like you to particularly present yourself in the photo. Again, don't spend too much time there, but I want to know basically, I want to know about your background in statistics and or your interest in statistics. Okay, this is a mandatory or a core course. Everyone has to take it. But do you have a particular interest in research or statistics, or do you want to know, what exactly are you looking for to get out of this course? You don't see it? On your platform, you don't see it, Marianella? You see mine?
Yes, I don't see the course in the in the dashboard.
On right now in La Batalla? Oh no, in your dashboard. Okay, okay. Okay, look, I don't know what's going on with the dashboard, but I admit it's very confusing. So, if you go to Mi Cursos, okay, search select all. I'm not sure where you're searching that, Alice. If you go to Mi Cursos dashboard, I don't know, mine just pop up now. I made it pop up. I don't know. But make sure it says, yeah, todos or en progreso, not future.
Right, that it happened to me also. I didn't see it, and then I have to select all, and then you
Todos.
put the code
Okay.
and you see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it happened to me too.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I was struggling. I was scared. I couldn't find my course. But yeah, this is the key thing you got to fix. You got that now? Okay. Let's go back. See, like it should be at the top. Like I was just there. So there it is. It's at the top. Okay, so some stuff about me here. Oh, this didn't see, like there's some things that didn't transfer well. I have to fix that too. There's just some buttons. Yeah, the update was just a few weeks ago and I don't know. Maybe they warned me, but I didn't see the warning. I have to fix that because it cuts off. Okay, let's see. So I'm sure that module 1 and 2 are okay. I spent some time making sure everything works. Oh yeah, so I want you here to make sure you understand the syllabus. Review this module, introductory module, the video these videos on the right side, and then make sure you understand the course outline that I showed you. You can read about me, and then there are some things here that are, if you click module 1, they will open module 1. Okay, so you'll see the foro de presentación, código de honor, reglas, and any questions you have, put them in here so everyone can benefit. Alice, are you asking me something again?
Yes. So on the dates, it means that from today until June 14, we're gonna meet every Saturday, excluding the ones you highlight there.
Yes.
Like we're gonna meet every Saturday at the same time, excluding those 4
Yes.
days, right? Just I
Yes.
wasn't okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's still going to be 10 days where we meet and I can give you a little test. I don't want to understate it and I don't want to overstate it. I call it an exam just to say it's not that simple. Like it's going to require your preparation. Okay. You're going to see in the connect exercises, they're much easier. This will be a little more challenging, but not as hard as, so there's quite a range of problems, and the more problems you do, you'll get a better idea. Okay, so I want you to fill these out for module 1. Then we're going to go to module 2. I'm going to click here. Module 2. So here's some introduction. Here's another thing that the update changed the font. I'm going to try and fix that font. I'm a perfectionist, so this sort of drives me crazy. Well, I just have to go through and change that font. All right, so here we have the first module we're going to look at, and it's a little different than the rest, and I'll explain that. So I'm going to show you module 2 and module 3. So what you have are the photo at the top where you can put your questions and comments. I will respond, or another student can respond to you. Okay, another student can respond to you if they think they have the answer. 1 year was the best year. Oh, the sharing went off? Hold on.
I didn't have a problem seeing the screen though. Maybe
You didn't
it's
see the
just a
screen?
bad connection. I was seeing the screen up until now that you stopped sharing. So I don't know,
Okay,
maybe it's like
how's
a bad
this?
connection.
I actually didn't stop, but maybe I clicked something and it changed the. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, keep me informed.
Yes.
Keep me informed. Great. Okay, so I did have one semester in 15 years here at in UPR where a student was actively answering questions for me, but otherwise I'm usually answering the questions, and it takes me a while, to get to it. I'm not so ready. If you put a question in the photo and you want my answer and you don't see me answering it, just text me or email me to answer it. The fastest way to get me, like I said, is to text me. So we have the lecture notes here. You have Spanish and English, and I had them translated by a fellow I consider my editor. So these should be pretty good. If you have problems with the translation, you can also let me know. Let me make that bigger. And keep me informed about the quality of your understanding of the Spanish version. The English version, the page by page, I've tried to keep them on the same page. So if you want to go back and forth, you can see that too. I needed to do that because I have the videos that align with the notes, and I don't want to change those every year, so I'm not changing the notes. This document is the English version with solutions, because throughout the notes, I ask questions, we solve problems, and so that is, I'll just show you a flash. So here you have the solutions, you see? Don't look too close. Okay, so you have some, so you can study on your own. It's very hands-off, like you guys can do this on your own. In module 2, known as experimental design and surveys, designing experiments and surveys. There are 4 videos that are 50 minutes long, and they take you to YouTube. And I went into Brave browser, so it won't turn on the ads. All right, so let's look at YouTube together. You probably know how to use YouTube, and maybe some of you don't. But to maneuver through YouTube, I just want to show you a few things. Okay, so let me talk a bit about this series. The video series is called Decisions Through Data. This video series was recorded or produced 30 years ago. It's old. People will think it's old, but statistics haven't changed. Fundamentals of statistics haven't changed. I mean, we have machine learning now, which is a whole different branch, but I'm not teaching you that. I'm just teaching you basics of fundamentals of statistics. I like these videos. They were made very well. Each 15-minute video, which was in those days like a videotape, right? A VCR videotape. I don't know, you guys are younger, but it was a a rectangular thing that you put into a machine. And those were $1,000 each in 1995. Just telling you, the production quality of these videos is very high. So some students are like, what's with the old videos? It doesn't matter. Like the you know, the outfits and the glasses and maybe the background is different. It kind of gives you a look into the past, but the content is excellent. Okay. And I got permission from the creators for the copyright. Like, so I can use these videos and I've shared them on YouTube. I had a problem with one video. They asked me to take it down and I tried to fight, and anyway, I don't know. It's really silly. But I think that one video was paid for or sponsored by a different group, and they didn't approve my use of the video. So the videos that you have here, the 4, are the ones I require you to watch. There's 4 here. 1 hour of your time today or tomorrow, okay? And those videos are referenced in the notes, and I ask you questions and then I add some more comments and some more material to the notes, okay? So they are a component of what you're studying here. Now, to watch the video, you can turn the captions on. We could high texting 1995.
According to a tested
Okay, so you have the
and
you have pretty good subtitles there, and then you can translate them if you want. If you know how to do that, go to the toolbar and then auto translate and pick Spanish or whatever language. I taught in Haiti and they were translating, and I didn't hear any complaints. So it's, you know, maybe it's not perfect, but
the same is true
of
for
the
good
main.
data. It's the method that matters.
The quality of the sound helps the video translate well. Okay, so then if you want to change the speed, you also use the 2-bar, and you guys, I hope you know how to do that. You can change it to go faster, slower, slow it down. If you're watching an exercise being solved, you might want to slow it down. To get through here, you
In this
can,
unit,
you know, drag it,
by carefully watching.
but you can also use the arrows on your keyboard to get through. Okay, so those are just some tips. I don't know if there's anything else. You can also like and share. No, you can like it. That helps me. But I don't get money for any of my ads, just to let you know. I don't have enough subscribers, so if you want, you can subscribe to my channel. I don't get anything from YouTube. They just populate my videos with ads, but on Brave browser it doesn't happen. Okay, so that's just letting you know. All right, so that is the information on decisions through data videos. Now you're going to see this DTD in the schedule. The only ones that are required are these 4, but there's more in the series, and the students who watch them really like them. I've put them here. I put this one in bold because it's required. The other ones are not required. And it's not for every study module, but you can watch them too. I need to link them. I'm going to put them linked in here because like I said, because I got a copyright warning on the one video, I privatized the rest of them, just waiting to see if they were going to, you know, complain about any other of them. So I'm going to open those as the time comes. But right now, these are available for you. All right, so that's what you're going to watch. So those are your notes that you're going to print out or download to a tablet. You're going to watch these videos. Look at the notes first. Look at the notes first, just so you have an idea of what to look out for, because it's going to come up in the video. So these accompany the notes. Then what you have here are previous videos I made in class that cover the material and go through the notes. Okay, so you have to watch these 2. So you have For module 2, you have 6 hours of videos to watch, and then this one, I guess 7. So, and that's you watching and learning, and you can speed up the videos. Let me show you me teaching the class. So I always recommend follow the instructions. So start at 1 hour with this one and just watch an hour and a half, because this was the first day of class 2 years ago. And I do the same instruction that I'm giving you now, so you don't want to watch that. So you're going to start at 1.5 hours and then watch till the end. When we reunite on April 5th, you can ask me anything you want about everything you've seen. So keep a record of what you don't understand, what you understood, okay? Any problems you're having. You're going to be able to test your knowledge in the meantime. And I don't have any, you can watch these. This is not required. I don't know if I should write that because I don't want to discourage you from watching anything, but this is just some things I will mention. I will mention when we meet. These are just like 5-minute clips, 5-minute clips. These are more pop culture statistics comments, okay? I say pop culture, current events. All right, so here are your exercises for practice to test your knowledge. You have here an assignment with solutions. I'll show you. I have it in Spanish. I didn't even make the English. If anybody needs the English, let me know. It's so funny that I translated to Spanish, and sometimes students want it in English. So let me know and I'll put it up. I'm trying not to put up too many things. I have a lot of material, but if you want it in English, let me know. And then I have the solutions here. Okay, so it's quite the bilingual class. So keep a record. If you don't understand something, put it in the photo. We can go over it, or I can answer the question in the photo. The next thing is multiple choice questions. Okay, so I'm pretty much your test will be multiple choice, like the weekly test that I'm going to give after our reunions. So you need to know how to answer multiple choice questions. So here's a whole bunch for you. And it's in English. If you need them in Spanish, let me know. But I think you guys can translate. You have the tools now. If you need to learn how to translate documents, let me know. And those are the answers. Okay. Oh, and finally, you have quizzes here. These are automatically graded. So you have like a short answer type problems here. You have multiple choice problems for yourself, and then you have automated quizzes that are graded for you. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So yeah, just watch, because it may look different if you've never worked in Moodle before. So I have my Moodle in Spanish right now. You can change it to English if you need by going to up here. So your image and then idioma. It'll go to English. That doesn't change the questions. That just changes the interface of Moodle. So you can try the quiz here. You can attempt the quiz as many times as you want. This is all for you to study and improve your understanding, okay? So I used to use the quiz for grades, but I think the better thing to do is to give you something else in class. All right. Questions. So you have
I do have a question. These quizzes are different from the ones that you mentioned about Connect. Is that correct?
exactly. So then there's
Okay.
Connect. Connect is something else. And what I'm going to do with Connect, so that's just for you to study, right? That's just for you to, that's all for our homework for you to understand the material. If you can get through this, I would say the most challenging and, not very hard, but the quizzes are more challenging than the rest of the stuff. Okay, so do those last. Do those the day before, the Saturday, maybe on a Friday night, or review them on the Friday night, because they'll capture the more challenging aspects of the material. Okay, so that is that, but now you asked about the Connect. So Connect, I haven't even talked about. Connect is going to be, I'm going to put I have in here on Moodle, I'm going to open it once I have the book. All the instructions on how to get the textbook. And Connect is just going to be somewhere else. So it's going to be in McGraw-Hill. I'll send you the link and everything. Let me show you Connect. So you're going to be busy. Oh, it doesn't work in Brave browser. Hold on, because I don't have it in here. Let me do here. So mine is, for instructors. It looks a little different than yours. I can get the student view. Where's the student view? Usually I can get the student view. Anyway, so I'll just show you. The book is here. This is the book here, and you can see it here. So you can get the book and then the exercises. So that will be the digital book. You're free to buy it too, or buy a statistics book, or if you already have a statistics book, to use it. But to answer the questions, you probably want to use the language, usually it's pretty standardized, and I'll try and choose questions that are more standard. Let me see where. So if you click here, you can see assignments. Like I have a different view. It's a little bit confusing because, okay, here's student view. So this is what you're going to see. It'll show up like that. And the quizzes will be there. And they're all set in study mode. So what's going to happen is once they expire, I'll give you 2 weeks to do the quizzes. All right, so you'll have time. And like I said, the best 5 will count towards your grade. In doing the quizzes, you can enter and get out until the deadline. Okay, it'll be graded after the deadline, but you can improve your score. All right, so here are the questions. So low response rate has no effect, and you can use all your resources. This is open book. This will be open book. Even the tests that I give you will be open book too. Now that can work against you if you have a, time limit. Here, I'm not going to give you a time limit on Connect, but the tests that we do after class, there will be a 20-minute time limit. So get organized. Organize your materials. Have outlines. Summarize. I'm going to teach you how to use a formula sheet by the end of the course, and that should be always with you. Yeah, so these are not hard questions in here. You just have to look up what these things mean. Okay, so this is not exactly your quiz. This is just from last semester. Any questions about Connect? Thanks for asking about Connect. So there's lots of things here you'll get used to. And some students love all the materials. Some students feel overwhelmed. Just let me know.
Yeah, sorry. Do we have an account already in Connect, being part of the institution, or do we need to create
You're
a?
going, I'm waiting for the license, like the representative has to give me, well, she has to send me the information. She has to set it up. What you're going to do is like I don't we'll talk about it. I'll send information on it. It'll appear in Moodle, all the instructions on how to get it. Okay.
All right, all right, all right. Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm just
No,
like on the
no.
login page.
You're going
There's
to
no.
study from my materials for now. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Connect is just like a reference book that we're going to use to get more points for you and for you to read, be able to read a reference textbook. And it's $50 and it lasts 6 months, the
Okay.
license, and then it expires. So if you do want to buy a book, if you're interested in a textbook, you could buy the Bowerman, but I think it's really expensive. I also I would recommend the New Bold book. So I put that in the prontuario. So let me show you that. I'm gonna show you okay, I'm gonna go back to Brave because that's where I was. Here. And the prontuario. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of things. It's a lot of things to get used to. There's a lot of materials. It's there's even more. This is the minimum that I could give you that I think is adequate to prepare you. The textbook, this is the digital textbook. And I'm saying it's required with Connect to get those 10% points. This is an optional book. You can buy it. You can buy this for $60 if you want another textbook. If you really don't have time, I think time is of the essence here. Don't bother. But if you want a good reference book, this is the one I've used, and I do reference it in the schedule. So I show you New Bold chapters 1 point. So I show you where in New Bold you can study the topic as well. If you don't want to buy a textbook, that's fine. My material's enough. And I'm just trying to, well, it's a usual case that I'm supposed to assign a textbook, and McGraw-Hill's made it affordable because I find students don't like to purchase $200 textbooks. So $50 is the best I could do. All right. Let me show you. So that is module 1 with the introduction. Module 2 is really heavy into the material on designing experiments and samples. That's pretty much the beginning, how you collect data to analyze, right? So that's where you're going to start. And then we're going to go into analyzing data in module 3. In module 3, there's just one extra thing I have to show you. You have, again, lecture notes, Spanish, and the English version. So you have to, there's two things you need here. The Spanish and then the English. And then these are the solutions to this document. I call it annotated, right? Because I made notes on the solutions. All right. These are the instructional videos, just 5 hours of videos. And that's what you have to watch. These are produced videos by me that took me forever to make, that go page by page by page by page. Okay, I spent hours. This was in 2012 when I was first hired to build a course when nobody was doing it, with the poor bandwidth, with not the proper equipment. I created these videos, and they're good. They're going to explain every page to you. So let's say you work through the notes, you watch the videos here, but there's a gap. You don't understand. What did she do? You go right to the page and watch the video. Okay? These all will link to YouTube. And there's a whole playlist here you could watch all the way through. These are your notes. Okay? So the only thing you need is time to get through the material because the material is there. The videos, most of them are short. I was advised to make short videos. Oh, didn't open. They're like, but I have the time here, like, 1 minute. Okay, that's a little longer, 15, but 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay. Sometimes in these videos, I recommend you go to certain videos in this thing here. So the set of edited page by page instruction videos is not in unit or module 2. I start using it in module 3. It wasn't necessary, but I found it necessary here because this is the statistics part. This is the calculation part, and people need to go back. I have one video here that went viral. I don't know, it went to Indonesia or something. Is it this one? Oh yeah, weighted standard deviation. This one, it had 5,000 views. The views are too low. My students aren't watching these enough, I think. This one has almost 8,000 views. So I don't know what happened. People were really interested in this video. Not my students, other people. So it's not possible in our meetings that I'm going to get to all this material. It's up to you to organize your schedule, program yourself, work with the schedule I made, and you can get through it. So again, you're going to see the exercises. I have 2 sets of exercises here. I have what I call the homework. And those are the multiple choice questions, and then the online quizzes. The homework exercises come with solutions at the back, remember. At the end are the answers, not the solutions. I do have a solutions document for the homework, and I'll put it up. But really, you should let me know if you get stuck on these. And there's one more thing to talk to you about. Module 4 is similar. You have, okay, so I have to put the headings in because the headings they look very weak. So I'm going to add those in just like I did for the last modules. So here again, you have the videos page by page, page by page, page by page. So these are the classroom. Those are the live classroom videos. These are the edited ones that took me days to upload. It took days to upload these because of the lack of bandwidth in 2012. Okay. And if the power went out, too bad. I lost my upload. Okay. So same thing here. By module 5, there are some midterm reviews. I think I'm going to move these to the front of the course. I'm going to have to move them up. So you have the review documents and old tests at the top. So you guys can start studying those if you want, because those are good questions to prepare for the weekly tests as well. But they're all mixed together. Like you'd have to be able to identify, the tests will be cumulative. Well, not like they're going to be, I could ask you anything that we already discussed. So you have to be up to date. It shouldn't be hard. Everything, you will be rewarded for keeping up to date. And if you fall behind, it's okay. You can correct yourself because I'm only grading the top 5, or I'm only using the top 5 grades. Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll move all of the old exams because I have lots of old exams there to the top. Any of these documents, any of these study activities have old exam questions in them. So you're always studying for the test. You're always studying for the final. Okay, so I still have to do some cleaning or highlighting just because the platform, the interface changed and some things don't look as good as they used to. So working with the pantalla on the left side, you can navigate module 2, back to module 2. Okay, so lecture notes. This is the only module where I give you the videos that I require you to watch. What I should do maybe is maybe I'll make a link with all of the decision through data videos in one link somehow. I don't know. Like I'll put all the links in one place. I don't want to put too much at the top because then you have to scroll a lot to get down. So I'm going to start putting the videos of our meetings here at the top too. I don't want to put too much at the top. All right, so you got it. Lots of stuff, lots of work for you to do. You're going to learn statistics. If I have anything to say about it, you're going to learn statistics. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. We have an hour. I would like to begin my introduction. That introduction would be in the first video here, but I think it's nice to do it together and it'll be more meaningful. So I'm going to try and highlight each time we meet. I'm going to do my best to highlight the main points. It will be like a review, but don't wait to meet with me to study. You have to come prepared to the class. Okay, you come prepared. This class, actually, I'm going to add that to the prontuario. I'm going to edit the prontuario. This is the model I'm using is the flipped classroom. I give you the materials, you teach yourself, and then we meet and I provide highlights and insights and answer any questions you're having. Okay, it's a flipped classroom. You ask me, but you do the studying with the materials I give you. Questions, preguntas. Let me see the chat. The quizzes online, Alice. I missed your question. The quizzes online don't have a due date. They're open the whole trimester. Okay, they're going to be open for you. You can do them when you want them. And you organize yourself. You schedule yourself. Is that okay? I'm putting a lot of responsibility on you. Yeah, that they're at your leisure. They're when you think you're ready, and you can attempt them as many times as you want. The Connect quizzes, the Connect assignments will have a deadline. They'll have a deadline. And you should be able to study them after the deadline too, if you want to study and you didn't do it, because you don't have to do all of them. Nair Hernandez.
Yes, Professor. So, for example, when we meet on April 5th, we should have come prepared and completed module 2 and 3 and come to you with questions and make sure that, we understood what we did.
I will probably be, yes, you should come with questions. So we're going to have a test that day. It will be after the class, so definitely come with your questions, but even contact me before. Don't wait. Don't wait till April 5th. Contact me before. If you can verbalize or you can write your question or say where did this answer come from? You can put it in the forum at the top. I have a forum in each module. I have a forum you can enter questions so they're more organized. or you can email me, text me. We can meet virtually. Don't wait. Don't wait. But that's what you should aim to do. You have 3 weeks. Is that 3 weeks? 1, 2, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, you should have up to GDS. And if I'm going to give you a test, maybe it will be one question from 2 and one question from 3. Or if I have the sense that you guys are confused about 3, I might just put 2 questions in 2, but I will give you probably something simple in 3. I have to get some feedback from you. If you guys don't give me the feedback, I'm just going to go by what I'm used to. Carlos, yeah, and Iram, yeah. The ones that are due in 2 weeks are the ones in Connect. Okay. Yeah. So I'm happy that we have 2 extra weeks, kind of like, even though we're not supposed to meet, it spreads things out. So you have time to absorb. 12 weeks for this trimester is very short for this course. But students, they do it. They do it. So if you guys know each other, or you guys can connect also with you guys can communicate with each other. Do you have like
Yeah, we have a WhatsApp group and it's very
you have a
active.
WhatsApp group with the
Yeah.
cohort? Okay. So you guys can keep in touch, and but keep me informed, okay? Don't complain amongst yourselves, complain to me so I can fix it. Don't wait, don't hesitate. Give me feedback. I'm very frustrated. Students say that I didn't help them. Well, how can I know? Where am I going to go to help you if you don't let me know, okay? So that's why I'm insisting that you let me know. All right. So let's look at the first set of material here in Module 2. The lecture notes I'm going to use are the English ones. So open that up. Let's take 5-minute break, and you guys can take a break, open this up. We'll have an hour to talk about this introduction and to statistics, designing experiments and surveys. Okay. So I'm going to take a break too. All right, you've had a moment, a little break. Any questions after contemplation? I'm going to show you the list of those decision through data videos. So there's 21 videos in total. Each of them is 15 minutes. So even watching that is helpful. So like I said, I have to make them visible again. I'm just scared about getting that strike. It was this video here, the 6th one. Okay, so I am going to turn to my iPad now with the Module 2 notes in English. You can follow in Spanish or English. And keep me posted on whether you can see.
First of all, you want us to open
The notes.
the platform, right?
Yeah, you didn't open it?
No, I was no.
Well, don't
No.
worry, don't worry. If you
No,
just
but
follow
I
along,
can.
you don't have to, but you should check it. You need to, I showed you, I video recorded it. You can follow along. You can open 2 pantallas, watch a video and be in the platform. You can open as many Moodle pages as you want. You don't
Oh.
have to be just in one. So if you have one that you're you're writing like a quiz in, and then another one that you have the platform. You just get used to it. The more time you spend with it, the better. So you familiarize yourself. Okay. So now let's see if we can all agree or come to a understanding about what is statistics before we even start. So the question is, what is a statistic? What is a statistic? Now some of you have taken statistics before, some of you have taken nothing, but all of you have probably heard the term. So what is your understanding? What is a statistic? You can put it in the chat. You can say it out loud.
Well, the
I would
statistics.
say,
It's
go
a
ahead,
public
Carlos.
information.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I would say metrics to understand a database.
Okay, so put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let's
Okay.
put a few things in the chat. What is a statistic? That's my question. First question. Okay, so a lot of you are telling me about the discipline of statistics, but what is a statistic? How do you define a statistic? Like without Googling it, without putting it in ChatGPT, what do you think it is? What is it? Just what do you understand? And what is it used for?
Could it be like, well, what I think is statistics is for getting data and getting putting in a platform or in a like say Excel or our studio like you mentioned, and then solve problems and predict
Okay. So you're telling me what it's used for. Okay. But okay, you guys are getting around it. You're around the issue. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the definition, all right? And I don't have it on the notes exactly like this, so you can write it down. Statistics is a number computed from data in a sample. That's how I'm going to define a statistic. It's a number computed from data in a sample. So there's another word there. What's a sample? And I'll get into all those details and definitions in a bit, but it's a number. So did anybody say that? You guys were kind of around. It's something, it's a metric. Okay, the idea is that I'm getting it from a sample, where a sample, what's the definition of a sample?
Muestra. Maybe.
What's a sample?
a data from a specific group or a numbers from different demographics.
Okay, so well, the sample, okay, so people are saying you guys are better at the sample than the statistic. So yeah, it's a sample is, okay, you can talk about bad samples, you can talk about good samples, but a sample is a part of the whole. So you imagine a whole of what? We have to go even a step back. So let's go a step back and then we'll come back to this, okay? Because I want to show you the full picture, the overview of what we're doing here. What we are doing here, what our goal is in studying statistics, is to gain information from data about a variable. Another word, what's a variable? A variable we want to know about a variable so we can better understand what to expect regarding that variable. So a variable is any characteristic of a person or a thing that can be expressed as a number. So we can study grades, we can study weight, we can study impact of exercise, we can study all sorts of variables, right? For what purpose and how do we do that? Okay. So a definition of a sample is a part of a population of data on a variable. So like I said, so variable examples. In business, what would be some examples of variables?
Sales.
Sales, dollar sales, what else? You guys can put it in the chat. Okay, your target, target consumer, profile. That might be made up of a lot of variables, right? Employee count. Very good. Business and finance. Returns. Return on a stock. Time, durabilities, you guys get the idea. Variables. Time. Time to produce. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have many variables we can imagine in performance. Performance is a variable, right? In sales, could be performance in sales or performance on the job, because I already put sales. So these are all variables. My goal is to obtain a statistic that is representative of a parameter. What I really want to know is about the population of data, right? I really want to know about all sales or my consumers or the number of employees in total. I want to know about the whole, but I might not be able to get information about the whole. I can just get a peek with a sample. So we're going to talk in the module 2 about getting a good sample. What's a good sample? Okay, and then what's a bad sample? But in the end, our goal is to calculate a statistic that is representative of a parameter. What's a parameter?
An area.
In statistics, what would the word parameter refers to? A number computed from data in a population. Now, clearly, when we do a census in a country or in a region, we aim to count everybody, but it's very expensive to count everybody and to census is just to count because we want representation and we want financing or funding for the government wants financing and funding for their services that they offer, right? So they want to count the whole population, but rarely do people take the initiative, marketing companies that are trying to understand consumers or other than, even in finance, right? In finance, you can't possibly get all the information out there on a stock, for instance, right? There's all kinds of data on stocks. There's instantaneous trades, there's daily trades, there's hourly trades, there's daily trades, there's which variables am I going to collect and can I collect it all? Well, sometimes it's impossible because you have to give you have to get a cutoff. You got to get a fraction of time, a sample. All you're going to get is a sample because it's hard to grab the whole population and it's very expensive and maybe not even worth it. It might not even be worth it because with a sample, and this is what statisticians demonstrate, is that with a sample, you can spend less money and get just as good an estimate of a parameter than if you spent all the resources to try and estimate that parameter. So that's what we do. So what is it used for? What are statistics used for? Statistics are used to estimate parameters. That's what our goal is with statistics. We want to estimate the true thing, what really is happening. Okay, so what really are the sales going to be? We were not going to be able to know the future, but we get a sample to speak about the future. You mentioned something about forecasting or predicting, right? So what is it used for? So these words are used in a variety of ways, and I want to put us all in the same, level playing field that we understand the use of these terms. The statistic is, from now on, a number computed from data in a sample, and it's intended to estimate the parameter. What's a parameter? A parameter is a number computed from data in a population. Okay? And the in between is that it's expensive or difficult to measure every data point in a population. Why do we do this? We do this to alleviate uncertainty. We do this to alleviate uncertainty. It helps us make decisions so that either we can, in business, make profits or in business, be safe and avoid any, risks or losses or any danger, right? So if we think about using insurance, insurance is all about statistics because we are trying to predict the unknown based on the past. That's right, return on investment. Okay, so these are the terms how I'm going to use them. And I'm going to repeat it a lot. So get used to it. Statistics are intended to estimate parameters. And why do we do this? We do this to alleviate uncertainty, make predictions. Better predictions are made with better samples. I can also say better statistics. Now, what kind of statistics are there? Because now we said it's a numbers. There's all kinds of numbers we can compute from a sample. Can you guys give me some examples of numbers we compute from a sample?
Number from example of age.
Just like the statistics. What kind of statistics are there? I'm really picking at your brain right now. So, give me examples of statistics. Not examples of variables. I want examples of statistics. So, for instance, you know what this is? Sample size is a statistic. The symbol n is pretty universal, and it gives you the sample size. That's a statistic. It's a number I compute from a sample. It's the actual count of how many observations there were in my sample. Very good. So some other ones you've been writing. The median. Okay, so I'm going to write them in English. So the median or mean. So mean is the average. Median. Standard deviation or mode. Some people know these terms. So we're going to learn about these different statistics and when we use them and how we interpret them. Just because you have data, and sadly, I have to admit, students have taken courses in statistics and they still think they can put the numbers in a computer and get some results and it's meaningful. No, you need to understand that some numbers use certain statistics. Okay, that's what we're going to spend some time on the next few weeks. There's many different statistics. Covariance. I can go on. Anybody else have any other ones that can impress me or impress everybody? So there's a lot of different statistics. Certain types of data use certain statistics. We're going to learn about the IQR. I won't spell it out. You guys can look forward to the IQR. Okay, so those are some statistics. And so what would be the equivalent? Oh, I'll write it. Or the matching parameter, let's call it that. Okay, so what's the equivalent parameter or the parameter it estimates? So n is the sample size. What do we call usually the population size? Does anybody know? It's universal to use the large N for population size. Okay, so you're going to see that a lot. I'm showing you for the first time here if you've not seen it before, but we're going to see that a lot. So sample size, small n, population size, large N. And then all of these have to have a prefix: population mean, population average, population median, population. That's how we refer to the population parameter. So population mean, and they have symbols too, and they are universal. In Asia, they use the same symbols in statistics as we use in North America. So we can communicate without, I mean, it was handy before AI or before Google Translate to have our own code. So a symbol for mean when it's from a sample is X bar, but the population mean uses a Greek letter mu or M in Greek. So you might have seen these before, you may never have seen it. All of these in the population parameters are going to be Greek. Well, most of them are going to be some sort of Greek letter. So I'll leave that to be continued. You're going to see that. Okay. So each of these has a population mean. Now, as I mentioned, I may be able to calculate X bar from a sample, but I won't be able to calculate the population mean because it's hard to collect all the data on a characteristic. If I want to study income of people, they might not want to answer a question about how much money they make. So that's going to really hinder me in getting a population mean. This is going to be hard. I'll work with my sample and do the best that I can. So often you're going to see these Greek letters floating around, but I won't have a value for them. Okay, you just got to be familiar with those Greek letters. So when you see Greek letters, those are parameters. Got it? Okay, so let's get back to our notes. We have a half an hour. I can get through the notes that I want to get through today, and then we'll go. All right? Any questions for me?
Oh, I
So
like
from
it.
beginning to end, this is what really you have to keep in mind. Question? Oh? No.
Professor, I do have a question. So whenever we're speaking about the Greek works, for example, the population mean, we won't have a numbers for those because those refer to the entire population, not necessarily to our sample.
Exactly. You could, like, let's say in engineering, or like let's say in production, you produce 10,000 units and you have all of them.
Okay.
You could say you have all of them, right? And you can speak about it. And in fact, on your calculator and even in Excel and in software, you can specify if you're working with population or the sample. But most of the time, you're going to work with the sample. That's all you have. But be aware that all of our results are always trying to mimic or trying to imply what is true in the population. That's always in the background. Don't lose sight of what we're trying to do. But yes, we're going to be working mostly with the sample. I don't know what happened to our all the students. Let me stop share for a second. There you are. Okay. I'm going to put that back. I guess when I use my iPad, I can't see you. Okay, should I continue? Any more questions? Did you guys learn something? You knew all that? I'm just trying to put it all together that you keep sight of the goal and not get lost in the weeds. All right. Okay, so we've already discussed this. So a type of data. Any characteristic of a person or a thing that can be expressed as a number is called a variable. The value of a variable is the actual number that describes the person or a thing. So notice there are probably in your mind, there's some variables that are not numbers, and we're going to learn how to deal with that, okay? variables are of two main types or subtypes that we're going to work with. So here are 4 examples of variables. Favorite restaurant, number of passengers in a car, temperature, and performance rank. They're all variables. To understand them, I'm going to ask you, we're going to generate a list, and I'm going to show you how we, manage data. Data management is 80% of your job when you work with statistics. So I'm opening my Excel. It's very slow. So I'm going to share my Excel if it ever opens. Oh, it's having trouble. I think it's, hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, is anybody here not familiar with Excel? I don't mean to signal you out. I just want to know if I have to go slowly. Okay. Okay, favorite restaurant. So I'm going to collect some data. I'm going to ask people, I'm going to stand in Plaza and I'm going to say, what's your favorite restaurant in Plaza? I'm going to put a heading here. So you want to be efficient, when you record or analyze data, because if you code, you're going to have to rewrite that every single time, or you have to manage a long title or label. So I'm going to just say restaurant, or even, yeah, a restaurant, short, nice and short. So I'm going to ask people, and I'm going to put an ID here just to keep track how many people I have. So I'm going to ask them their favorite restaurant. So I'll tell me your favorite restaurant. Put it in the chat or say it out loud. Favorite restaurant. It doesn't have to be in Plaza, but just your favorite restaurant. This is my opportunity to get restaurant recommendations. Let's see. Chili's. Oh my goodness, the first one. Chili's. P.F. Chang. Longhorn. So you guys are being unique. Cheesecake Factory. I have to say, I like all these. I wish I could eat at Cheesecake Factory every day, but not a good idea. Okay, Bacoa.
Marcos Pizza, Marcos.
P.F. Chang's. Okay, we got P.F. Chang's again. Marcos.
Marcos,
Oh, that's good pizza?
the best.
It's the
In,
best?
in Puerto Rico, yeah.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
no,
Carlos, I have to take you for pizza.
yeah, no,
I have to take you for pizza.
in April 20, yes.
What about New York? What about that pizza?
That was excellent.
Yeah,
Great.
that's pizza we have to find. Okay, La Manada. Okay, so I'm just gonna write a few. I want to make a point here. It's not just about finding great restaurants. All right, so there's my data. What was the variable? What was the definition of variable?
The favorite restaurant?
No, what was the definition of a variable? A characteristic of a person or thing that can be expressed as a number. I don't see any numbers here. how can I call this a variable? I should put favorite restaurant. Favorite restaurant. Favorite restaurant. So what do you think? What do we do with this data? Because this is not a variable like this, right? It is the variable. It's the answer to the question, favorite restaurant. So what I'm going to do is code. You have to code it.
Okay.
So I'm going to make up my own. Like this is just kind of logical, right? I'm going to let Chili's be 1, P.F. Chang be 2, Longhorn is 3, Cheesecake Factory is 4, Bacoa is 5. Now P.F. Chang, I'm not going to call it 6, I'm going to call it 2, right? And La Manada is a 6. Got it? So now I've converted my values into a number. So now that's a variable. So coding, data management is a huge part of the job, and doing it properly. You know, it's obvious you have to do it properly, but you can see with lots of data, you can make mistakes. Okay, I didn't put some of them in here, but just because I wanted to keep it short. So the question is, compare that variable to the variable number of passengers in the car. So I'm going to have a new variable over here. I'm just going to put them on the same page so you can see them. Different variable, different data set. I'm going to call it numpass, number of passengers. And so I'm going to stand at the intersection at the university on Ponce de Leon there with the Universidad, so Avenida de Universidad, and I'm going to count. I'm going to see if people are being efficient and carpooling, so many people in a car, or if they are, you know, just one person in a car. So the first one passes has 1, the next one has 3, the other one has 2, one has big car 5, another one has 1, another has 3, another has 4. Okay. Everybody's okay with my variable I invented? Then we have temperature. I'm going to measure the temperature throughout the day and see if there's any variation in the temperature in the most volatile, no, let's say in January. I don't know if it's so volatile, but here, you're going to get the temperature. You can do it in Fahrenheit. You're going to take readings seven times in the day, 3 or every 3 hours or something. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do it every 4 hours. And we have 6. Okay, so we're gonna do it every 4 hours. We're gonna get the temperature. So give me some examples of the temperature in Puerto Rico in January.
100.
It could be.
In January, that's tricky. Maybe during the day it might be, I don't know, 97, and at night it'll be like, I don't
Some,
know,
you guys
98.
are hot. You guys are in. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it in like somewhere in the mountains. So it can vary. So a little more variation in the mountains, a little bit.
It's very extreme because,
Yeah,
yeah,
it would be probably like 68 or something.
there you go.
Let's
Yes,
put
yeah, it's very
68.
chilly up there. It's very chilly up there, yeah.
Okay, so basically, okay, so let's do the last one and then we'll compare them. Okay, performance rank. So I have staff. I have 6 staff members and I'm going to rank them, and unfortunately one of them I might let go. Yeah. Okay, so they're going to rank. I'm going to say the first one, the first staff member was rank 2. This one was rank 4. This third was, so this is going to be confusing to look at. Maybe I'll write it in words. Oh no, I guess I hope you get it. Okay, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, and 3. Okay, so those are my data sets. Now you're going to tell me what's different between them. Let's take 2 at a time, I guess. We have favorite restaurants, which I coded into numbers so I could compare them. So what's the difference between this favorite restaurant and number of passengers? Let's try, what about, let's do this. What's the difference between number of passengers and temperature? What's the same and what's different?
They are both numbers, but the way we receive that data is different.
I can't hear your mic. Your mic. Get closer.
Now,
Yeah.
they're both numbers, but the way we receive that data is different.
The way we receive the data. Okay. Well, I recorded, I observed, and I wrote it down. I wrote down the number of passengers, and we're going to assume I did it correctly. I was able to capture the number of passengers in the 7 trucks at the stoplight. As they were stopped, I could count. And here I'm recording on a device, some barometer, some device. I don't know if that's some metric, some equipment. So that's not the issue, but there is an issue. What if I had a very good device and it was telling me like this? Is it possible? Okay. Can I do the same thing over here with number of
No.
passengers? I cannot, right?
Oh,
So we
Yeah, I
need
mean,
a
like,
term, we need a term to describe that. And what we say is this data is called discrete.
discreto, yeah.
And this data is called continuous. Okay, so this one can be subdivided. However, you can get a tool that's more precise to get you more decimal places for precision. So that is the subtype being different, but in fact, they are the same type. Do you guys know what the type they are? What they're called?
Quantitative.
Oops. Yes. So let's talk about why they're quantitative. Why are they quantitative? So the notes looks at goes over the idea, but you have a feel for it that both of them could be confirmed by somebody else doing the same thing. They will get the same result. It's objective, not subjective. It's not opinion based. It's clear. It's a fact, right? So that's what makes it quantitative. As a result of it being quantitative, I can combine these numbers and they make sense. I can compare one to the other and it has meaning. I know that 5 is more than 1. Same here. I know that 68.6 is less than the highest of 81.2. Now, that all seems obvious when you work with quantitative data. The other two examples are not quantitative. They're known as categorical data, or we say qualitative. I'm just going to avoid that because it sounds too similar to quantitative, but we call it qualitative. Let me save this. And I can put this on the platform too, just to, so you remember what we did here. So let's compare now these again. Let's go for restaurant and number of passengers. Chili's I labeled as 1. Why did I make it 1?
It was the review, like it was the code that you assign it. So you
It's just the
basically
code I
took it.
assigned. Exactly. It was just the code I signed. If I wanted to, I could change the codes. I could put them in alphabetical order. I could take these and change the code. I can sort. Data sort. Why don't I know how to do this? Sometimes I don't. Sort. Okay. Data sort. Now they're in order. Maybe I'll do that. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Anything wrong with that?
No.
No. Sorry. Okay, so I can do that. So this reflects that the numbering scheme has no real sense. 6 is not a better number than 1. It's just a number. It's just a category. It's just a label. All right, so we call this subtype here put it here. We call it nominal. Nominal is an overused word in math and economics and statistics and finance. Nominal, the key to understanding nominal is the no, like nothing, like no, or very small or very little. It's very little information. It's just a categorical, it's just a category that it's labeling. Okay. So that's categorical. And then the last one, you understand what is the difference between the last one and this one, favorite restaurant. The last one was about performance rank. What's the difference between the number 6 and the rest? Does
And
6 tell us something?
yes,
They have a value. It represents
better.
something.
The best is 5 ID is first ranked, and the worst is 4 ID is the worst ranked. So we can compare the numbers between them. Don't get confused that this is favorite restaurant. They're just saying we're just getting the names, okay? We're just getting the labels here. But here I'm actually ranking the numbers tell me who's doing better than the other. The numbers are ordinal. That's how they're in order. The numbers reflect the order. So that's called ordinal. Otherwise, it's also categorical, but ordinal. So maybe you knew this before. The important thing to stress is that we are going to work in this course because of limited time. Obviously, we only have a few months together. And there's years and years of statistics training you can do or get. We're going to focus on this kind of data, continuous quantitative data. We are going to spend some time on discrete quantitative data, but for the most part, we're in quantitative data. But I need to understand quantitative data. You have to distinguish from the other types of data. You cannot use the methods that we learn in this course on the other type of data. For instance, I can calculate the average passengers here, and I can calculate the average temperature here. But in favorite restaurant, taking the average has very little meaning. Do you agree?
Right.
And taking here, the average of the ranks has very little meaning.
How come?
Well, what does it mean?
Yeah, well, how can you have not a specific meaning when you are when the
It tells
quality,
what the average rank is, but in terms of what is, it doesn't have it like if I okay, first of all, this has absolutely no meaning if I average these numbers. It's not going to tell me about it's not going to be meaningful. It's not going to trace back to any individual restaurant because even if I found the average, because the ranking doesn't make much, like the numbering is not, there's not a understanding behind the numbering. And over here in the rank as well, Alice, you have a question?
Mostly a comment on the performance. In my experience, the average in performance, the meaning that it provides, it's if it's going to be a payout based on that. So I have the experience that companies, for example, performance for employees, they accrued an amount of money for a bonus for the employees that have 3, 4, for example, or 5.
Right. I'm
So
not
what
saying that
they do,
I'm not saying that the number here doesn't have value, but I'm
okay,
saying that putting the numbers together and getting another number might not mean what
not
you
gonna
think
give
it
you
means.
much.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you can use it, but you're using it in a different way. That's all I'm saying. I could get the average here, but getting the average here has a different meaning. But definitely to get the ranking, so the ranking came from maybe several managers had an evaluation, then they include sales, if this is a salesperson, or they include, the number of resolutions, if this is like a customer service sort of thing. So there's many factors that go into ranking somebody, and it's very subjective. And trying to attribute a result of putting those numbers together, those have meaning. I'm not denying it has meaning. It's just you can't do the same things we're going to do with these numbers as you can do with these numbers over here or over here. That's the main thing. But definitely, you should be able to, there's value. Obviously, there's value in doing this kind of thing. So I want to now show you, we have like a few minutes. I want to try with you the exercise. There's 2 exercises. There are 2 exercises I want to look at before you go. So the summary is here. And I gave you some other examples. And what you can do, you can watch the video. Like I have the video instruction repeating this, and maybe I said different things or showed it in a different way. But essentially, you need to know the difference between discrete, continuous, and nominal ordinal for categorical and quantitative data. There's an exercise here where you get to consider what type and what subtype these variables are. And then there is this quiz. I'm going to ask you, we have a few minutes. Take a couple minutes to read this. Imagine this was a survey. And take a few minutes to think about how you would respond to the survey. And then what type and subtype each of these questions are collecting, like which type of variable are they collecting? And you're going to notice this is kind of like questionnaires that you may imagine, these are questions in a questionnaire that you may have answered at some point or you think are interesting. It's important to understand the difference in this type of variable and the potential to analyze it. So I'll give you a couple minutes and then we'll go through it before you leave. And if some of you don't get it because I'm going too fast, you can review it in the video conference. Okay, ready? Number one, is it quantitative or categorical? The faculty you're registered.
Categorical?
Yeah, you can put it in the chat. If it's categorical, you can put it's categorical and then tell me if it is categorical, then is it nominal or ordinal? Let's see how you guys are doing. Okay, you guys got that one, right? Categorical, nominal. Okay, number two. So you all agreed it was categorical, ordinal, nominal. Yeah. Okay, just keep adding your comments. Number two, how many glasses of milk do you consume per week? So this week, with the videos, you really got to think about how you collect variable data. You have to ask questions very specifically, and you can test them to see how people will respond. So some of you are reading it that they're asking for the whole glasses of milk, a full glass of milk. But some people could just drink, a sip. Anybody who knows me knows I sip at my drinks. I don't gulp. So, and it doesn't say cups, does it? It says glasses. Very, very bad question, I think. It's pretty bad. I think it's the worst question on here. Okay, so I would say that either it is quantitative. So you guys got that. It needs to be quantitative. It is something you can measure, but whether it's discrete or continuous is open. There's a blank line there. You could say 4.5 glasses. You could say, you just put milk in your coffee. That's not even a glass, right? So that's maybe 1 glass a week. Okay, so yeah, so that could be either one. I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, not every question is a good question. So that could have two answers, but it has to be quantitative. Okay, number three. Now it gets tricky. So we're going to finish this and then we're going to go. Keep going. I'm waiting till I see 10 answers. So this is categorical, right? Because it's not a number, but we can attach numbers. And if we attach numbers, 1 for black, 2 for brown, 3 for red, 4 for blonde, 5 for gray, and 6 for white, would the numbers mean something? Like if I was 1, is that related to 6 in any way?
Different color.
They're different color, but look what it says.
Uh-huh. Okay.
What does it say?
Dark.
Dark. How dark? That implies a scale or a gradient or like a rank, right? So this is like the ranking. So now go back. Somebody got it right. I tricked the rest of you. I didn't mean to. I'm trying to teach you, but somebody got it right. Nichter got it right. Categorical, ordinal. It's an ordinal in darkness. It's ordinal. I don't know if red really goes there, but anyway, if this was you could rank them like that, and that is categorical ordinal.
Yeah.
All right, 4 and 5 before we go. Actually, I can circle here. So 4 and 5. Okay, you guys slow down. Any more? Any more guesses? Number 4 and 5?
I'm going.
Okay, I pressured you and you picked the wrong one. Okay, so let's see. So again, this is the kind of surveys that people are putting out, and I just pray that they know that this is not a quantitative variable. This is a categorical variable. Why do I know it's a categorical variable and not quantitative? Because each scale or each item or value has more than one number in it. More than twice could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's more than, that's why it's a category. It's not quantitative because the category has many numbers in it. The fact that there's a number here reflects the fact that it's ordinal. Okay, so there is they are ranked. There's a ranking. So it's ordinal, but it's categorical. It's not quantitative. Again, because more than one number is in each value. So it's not quantitative. At one time, maybe it's quantitative, but the way they collected the data was to combine. And they do that to help people to answer questions that they might not know the answer to, and they just want to get the survey done, and they want to, and also they don't want to put people on the spot. So it's just a kind of a technique of surveys, but then they have to be careful in the analysis that they don't treat it as a quantitative variable. It's a categorical variable. So that one is categorical and ordinal. And so is the last one. Same thing. I threw numbers in there and really screwed you guys up. Not quantitative. Again, how many numbers are in each category? Many. You see, many. What is the problem with that? Again, when it's categorical, even though it's ordinal, it's hard to know if I was to give this the number 1 and the second one the number 2 and the third one the number 3, an average would be hard to interpret. It would just be hard to interpret. Yeah, I got us. I got us. I got you guys. I just wanted you to see that. I mean, it is pretty straightforward, but don't get caught with this. This is, unfortunately, this is kind of the standard in questionnaires. But if you're going to analyze the results here, do not treat it as quantitative. You have to deal with the fact that you can make bar charts and do things like that, but trying to take averages you'd have to have the actual individual data to do that. Okay, so maybe you could summarize the data this way, but you would need the individual level data and what number they gave you to get averages out of it. Okay, so you learned something today, some of you. So that's categorical, also ordinal. Ordinal is still better than nominal. You can do more with it. You can do more with it because you can at least say, you can talk about, better or worse. You can make some comments like that regarding the results. All right, guys, it's 11:24. I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks in class kind of reunion, but you have me, you have my voice, you have my videos, and you have access to me, and I give you my cell number for anything urgent. But otherwise, if you can wait 24 hours for me to get back to you, you can write me an email or put in I might answer right away, but I'm saying I'm not a check for 24 hours. So if you really need me to see something, let me know you sent me an email, even with a text. Okay. If you're having trouble getting organized with all the materials, have a meeting with me and I can help organize you as well. I'm available for that. All right. Any questions, comments?
Just to be clear, for the next time we meet, we should be done with module 2 and 3.
Yes, you should be done with module 2 and 3 the best you can. We'll spend 2 hours. If you have no questions, I will do problems. I will give you problems and exercises we can practice for the test and then give you the test at 11, which would be like probably 2 questions, one from each of 2 and 3 module. But keep me posted on your progress, okay? If you need anything, let me know. I don't want to give you more material because you have a lot of things to look at and everything is there. You just have to dig through it. If something's not clear, let me know so I can clarify.
And will you send an email when you fix the Connect situation?
Yes, I will. I will send you that. The Connect probably in a week or 2. You won't need it right away. You have enough to worry about. So maybe after the meeting, I'll have the Connect in 3 weeks. I mean, I'll put it up with questions like after your first test. So you in 3 weeks, you'll really know where you're at and we can see where your needs are and what I can do if you need any extra help. Okay. Okay. Good luck with it all. Pleasure to meet you. Good morning and have a good weekend.
Bye. Thanks.
you.
Bye.
You all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.